And Twitch is coming up. Nice. All right, I don't see it, but I know it's happening. Interesting. Okay. Thank you. No idea. Nice to see you, buddy. JP, how's it going? Guess who's back again, eh, Connor? Too funny. Too funny. All right, let's see what's going on. All right. Do we have anybody on Twitch? I'm not sure if it's working. I can't tell from my view if it's working. The usual suspects, right? I love it. I'm so happy the usual suspects are here. All right. I'm not seeing Twitch coming up today. Hello, Dan. Nice to see you. Slumpity dumpity. None of your business. Nice to see you guys. Monique, how's it going? Roscoe, buddy. All right. Fresh Roast Coffee, Ohio. Nice to see you. AO, Ohio. Oil Farmer and Hayden. Nice to see you, my friend. Chris. Catfish Stalker. All right. Boris. What devices are we on today? We're going to be on a whole bunch of devices today. That's where we're going to be. We're always all over the place. All right. Twitch is up. Thank you, Roscoe. Appreciate it. Rad TTV. Love it. Hey, Dave Kaz. Nice to see you. All right, Max. All right. Finally, Twitch is online. All right. Good stuff. Love it. Love it. This is my favorite part. All right. James, nice to see you, my friend. This is great. I love when everybody's showing up. This is so exciting. Hope everybody's having a good week so far. Southwest Florida in the house. Tornado tonight. Right on. Right on. Nice. Tornado's such a fun one, eh? Son of Keith, I love it. Nice to see you, my friend. ADH, she does nails. Love it. Hey, friend, nice to see you. Oppenheimer. Well, thank you. What a nice comment that is. I haven't had anybody be that nice to me yet today, that's for sure. Okay. I can see your chat on Age. I can see your chat on Twitch. Hi, Darren. Gordon Green. I don't know, man. The lights are on, but I'm not sure if we're here. Hey, Rob. Nice to see you tonight, Rob. Hey, Robert. Nice to see you. All right. Everybody's kind of showing up. This is awesome. This is awesome. Okay, Age, I'm not seeing you on YouTube. Let me just run through. No, I'm not seeing you anywhere. Hey, Raj, nice to see you, my friend. Didn't get the notification this time, eh? Yeah, notifications are far and few between right now. That's for sure. There's seems to be a little bit of a challenge with discoverability right now. D330806. Hello, my friend. All right. Age is saying hi to everybody on YouTube. She is on Twitch, but not coming through on YouTube like last time. So, what a pain, eh? The good old YouTube has its own funny rules, right? Fake Daddy, nice to see you. I'm so happy everybody's here. And, you know, I'm going to say, as much knowledge as I share, I know that there are so many people out there as well that are sharing knowledge in the chat and helping me, you know, dropping comments in the chat. So everybody's giving you the big wave. Age giving you the love. Yeah, so I share what I know, but I also know I'm only one person in this community, and there is a boatload of all kinds of information out there that's getting shared around. So as much as I'm happy to share, I'm really grateful to everybody else who does it too, just as much as you guys are with me. Anybody watching Shorzy? Too funny, I love it. Too funny. Freaking Bake, nice to see you, my friend. All right, let's, Faux 20, yo, nice to see you too. All right. All right. So I'm going to let you guys know on Twitch, okay? If you were on Twitch last week, you heard me say I'm going to do my very best to be more on top of Twitch because I have the chat separated here like this. And, I maybe did 10 or 15% better, maybe a tiny bit, but not tons better. So, I asked Mrs. TTB to make an account and to be kind of a silent lurker over there. So if you guys drop a question and I'm missing it, she's just going to write it down and she's going to bring it to me just the same as she's doing for people on YouTube. So, gotta love it, you see. Gotta love it. Yeah, so drop your questions on Twitch, and I'm going to do better each week, I promise. And now I got backup. Sometimes you don't have to always do better. Sometimes you just have to know, what's the mechanism that will make it look like you do better. So Mrs. TTB throwing me the questions, that's going to do it for me. So pretty excited about that. Oh, no idea. You're right into it. Oh, no. Won't, eh? Okay. I'm going to retract what I just said. Now Mrs. TTB seems to be blocked off Twitch. She checked that account like 20 minutes ago. No joke. Now it's blocked. So. What are you going to do, right? So I'll just do better. I'll just do better. That's what I got. You still got my FS cup. No way. Are you serious? Is that Frank? Get out of town. Yes, I do still have your FS cup. No joke. That's hilarious. Hilarious. Oh, cool. Got her. All right. All right. So let's get into it. All right. Look at that. It's time for, you know what we're going to do? We're going to start with a Roscoe. Let's just have a Roscoe and then we'll actually start, okay? That's what I'm thinking we do. All right, so how about we have a Roscoe? Drop in the chat tonight. What are you going to, what are you vaping tonight? I created a crazy concoction the other day, and it's Acapulco Gold, and I mixed in some decarbed sour diesel and decarbed red Congo. And I vaped it, and I was like, oh no. This is silly. This is crazy the way this is interacting together. And I got absolutely blasted from a very little amount. So I gave it to Mrs. TTB to try and she was like, what is that? So I said to myself at that moment, do not, under any circumstances, do not mix that for the live stream. 20 minutes ago, half an hour ago, what am I doing? I'm making that exact batch for tonight. So it is Acapulco Gold, Red Congo, and Sour Diesel mixed together, and it is so much fun. Yeah. Fug Life 20, nice to see you, my friend. So let's go ahead and we'll have one. So drop it in the chat. What are you gonna, oh, and squirrels. Caught her. Squirrels so soon. You know what? I'm going to tell you guys. I was thinking about squirrels before this live stream too. And I've got some fun squirrel facts for you guys tonight. We're going to even do that. But I'm going to wait until we're a few Roscoe's in because, of course, it'll have a little more interest when we're in that state of mind, right? All right, let's get in. And let's rip one. All right. Roscoe for squirrels. Cheers. Woo. Of the Musa, Musa 3000 is running on 9.5, which you can see is a fairly good temperature, but you can see that's actually quite gentle in the way that it's extracting on those big one and dones. That's why I like it so much. It is really easy to work with. Ooh, that's better. I'm waiting for that one. Secret squirrel. And cheers for squirrels. Oh my goodness, I absolutely love it. Love it. All right, so let's start. Got the first one out of the way. All right, let's start with the intention. I thought about this very carefully today. Squirrel Skinner. Too funny. Too funny. Okay, so I thought very carefully about the intention for today. Here's what I'm hoping. Simply good vibes, and that everybody leaves feeling, you know, a little more connected to the plant, to each other, and to themselves. Very simple, right? We just feel a little more connected by the end of this session. Have a good time, good chat. Nice. All right, hitting that M7XL. Nice. All right. Did you eat? Too funny, too funny. Phil Sober, nice to see you, my friend. All right, so let's jump right in. Let's do a little Tabletop Bong update. I got a couple of things I want to talk to you guys about. So number one, I don't know how your guys' week has been, but I've had one of those weeks since the last live stream where I haven't been particularly busy. Yeah, I have been run off my feet with all kinds of things that just seem like they eat time and don't have a whole lot of productive value to them. It's been kind of a crazy week like that, and sometimes you get into that, right? You get into these periods of time where you're super productive, and then periods of times where that kind of goes out the window and you spin your wheels a bit. I had that kind of a week. Hi, Kilroy, nice to see you, my friend. Yeah, so we're just kind of getting going. We've had one Roscoe, and we were just all wondering where you were. No, I'm just kidding, just kidding. We've had a Roscoe, and yeah, so now we're into it. Oh, nice, Max, nice. Yeah, I've definitely had some things done. You know, I've gotten a fairly good amount done as far as work is concerned, but it hasn't been that busy with orders. So that kind of slows you down, and it takes me off where I can start working on other things, right? I get a minute to work on something. Like I started working on putting all the dry stems in the computer and getting that all set up. And, you know, we talked last week about the stand and all of that. And this is just kind of an example of how this stuff goes. So I put some time into that, and I was basically ready to go. And then I took a minute and I actually looked at the supply I had of stems, right? Because I'm waiting for an inventory supply to come in. And I really don't have enough that I can launch and not be worried about it with the dry stems, right? So I'm like, oh, man, that's like one step forward, two steps back there, right? I put a number of hours into it, and I'm like, I got to just back burner that for a week or two while I wait for my stock to arrive. So I'm kind of doing that. Hey, Jordan, nice to see you, buddy. Summertime's busy, eh? Summer's always busy. I'm always happy if you guys can find any time to jump into the live stream during summertime, right? It's pretty cool. Yeah, so dry stems, they're just going to have to wait for another week or two before I can bring those out. Things like that going on. But, I mean, what's it mean for me? I'm so happy to be here tonight and just having a good time, right? So that's kind of the tabletop update. Oh, I wanted to talk to you guys too. I've been playing around. I told you guys last week, I've been working on a new injector for the locked pearl system. I'm working on kind of a hybrid between the fireside, where you heat it on the side, and the traditional locked pearl, where you're sending it down the opening, right? So what I've come up with, I'm going to show you guys. It's an 18 millimeter injector. I'm still iterating on this. I'm just talking about it because I'm super excited, and you guys are my friends, right? So I figure I want to talk to my friends about what I'm doing. If you guys want to chime in, for sure, do it. But so what I'm doing is I'm just taking basically an 18 millimeter injector. I'm closing up the top so that there's just a small hole. just a single pinch, and I'm dropping either 4 6mm, or I'm trying a single 10mm as well, right? And I'm annealing these. So basically what you're doing is you're heating the outside of the glass, and then I'm just shooting the flame. I'm going to show you in just 1 second. I'm shooting the flame on an angle like this and letting it get pulled down through this smaller hole. I'm not actually heating the top. You know, I wouldn't recommend, you know, aiming the flame right down here. This is, the idea is to have it on an angle and pull the heat down off of the flame. So it works pretty well. It's just it's an alternative. And the idea is to, you know, create enough options that I can put it out there, and there'll be something that connects with everybody somewhere along the way, right? The one style may connect for you, another one doesn't. You don't know unless you try. So I just thought I would play around with some more injectors. I'll just show you guys how this goes. Drop a little flour in here. So before I start heating it, and I'm just going to drop a tiny bit of flour in here. Before I start doing anything, I'm going to heat the outside of the glass like if I'm heating up the terpsichore. And I'm going to wait for the flame to turn orange before I move on. I am running with my with my tabletop bong. I'm running just under half for water. That's typically what I do, just under half for water. Okay, so what I'm doing with the injector is I'm putting the, I don't want to grab that now, it's hot. I'm putting this dimpled part away from myself. I don't know that you could see that. See, there's a dimple there, right? I'm putting that away from myself so I have the smooth side of the glass. And then just throw a little more heat on there. And once you get this heated up, you can switch to a smaller torch if you want to, for sure. So that's looking like it's pretty good now, so I can go ahead and just kind of... And you can really... you can really control the vapor output very, very easily. Or the other approach is you could just heat the side of the glass too. So it's like a hybrid, right? And you can really, you know, choose the experience you want with this. Yeah, notifications, eh? What a pain they are. Tell you what, it's a bit frustrating as a content creator when I know that there's a crew of people that want to get notifications and for some reason they don't get out there. And when they do get out there, like I follow it from a few different accounts, right? Just to watch the flow of things. And there's times where I'll get a notification for a video I dropped and I won't get it until a week and a half afterwards. So, yeah. Notifications are a pain. If you know what, I've been thinking about this too. I'm glad this actually came up. I don't like to spend a lot of time on this, but it's still a conversation in my head, right? Dark Height, nice to see ya. First time catching the stream. Love it. Just hit 4 bowls. Perfect. You're in the right right frame of mind. That's for sure. Jump right in. You know, say whatever you want in the chat. We're all very polite, respectful, and have a great time, you know, going back and forth and learning some stuff. So, if you guys can think of any solutions, right? Like I've been thinking about Substack. I don't know how many of you guys are using Substack. But I was thinking about maybe putting some content on Substack. You know, I think the I think the notifications work much better from that platform. But I mean, getting people to jump platforms is pretty tough to do too, right? And I understand that. So I've just been thinking about this kind of stuff. Not really sure. Okay. small slits next to the ball itself to pull the heat faster. I did actually play around with that, just actually popping some holes in the side, and the whole process happened far too fast. Right, it's about controlling the speed, and it's a balance thing, right? I've made, I don't know, probably a couple of dozen at least iterations of this, just trying very small adjustments. I've definitely put holes in the side of it. I've put the pearls in all different locations, from the bottom to the middle to the top. I've added different numbers of pinches for different reasons to try it all out. So yeah, it's pretty interesting, Roscoe. Yeah, interesting. Okay, yeah. Okay, so Roscoe's comment is maybe YouTube and Twitch don't push my channel because I don't monetize. They do not make money off of you. That's, what, and that's fair. But it was like a light switch, honestly. I had no problem getting recommendations for a very long time. Notifications went out for a really long time. And then all of a sudden it stopped. And no matter what I do, I can't get it to start again. So it feels like more of a lever's been pulled and definitely not monetizing. For sure that goes into it. But I mean, that's one of those things. The second you're monetizing, they have control over some stuff, right? Like at the end of the day, as long as I keep my content educational, I know that I'm not going to get a ton of notifications and stuff going out, but I guess it is what it is, right? We just keep doing. Oh, interesting. Thanks, Max. You got the Twitch notification, but not YouTube. Yeah, you know what? I mean, I think as well, the longer I'm doing, these consistent slots every Thursday night, 9 p.m. Eastern Standard, every Friday, 3 p.m. Eastern Standard, I think after a while, people just get used to it, right? I know when I first started posting the poster in the community post to tell people that there was a new video for when notifications didn't go out, a lot of people started actually using that poster and grabbing the quick link, just coming to the channel real quick and checking if I've dropped anything new. So that definitely does help quite a bit. And for those of you who don't know, I do that. Every time I drop a video, I drop a poster at the same time, right? Talking about, hey, the video is there, here's the quick link, and you can see the title of the video right in the post, so you know if it interests you or not. So, all right, Son of Keith, you got the YouTube. All right. Oh, JP. Too funny. Too funny. Yeah, Raj, I've been I'm slowly working actually at reorganizing my shop right now. I work like a guy who works on his own, right? And I put things always within my reach, so it's very few steps, but it doesn't make for the most organized view or something that would look great on camera, although it has a great workflow for me. So I'm slowly working on getting it cleaned up so I can do some shop shots and just show you guys some of the glass work, like to show you making a locked pearl, for instance, even, right? It doesn't take very long to make one until the beginning part anyway, before it's ready to go in the kiln. It doesn't take long, so I could show you guys that, or stems and stuff too, right? So yeah, I'm working on that. But again, I mean, it's one of those things, right? I have to just kind of plug away at it while I'm out there. So yeah. I keep trying to, and this is total transparency. I keep thinking to myself, I should really go out and clean the shop. Like, I really should work on that. But then when I'm not in the shop, I don't really feel like going out to clean it. So I just haven't been overly motivated on that. So, but I'm definitely feeling a little more motivated to get that done for sure. Okay, so yeah, that's kind of the tabletop update anyway. I hope that didn't get heavy. I didn't mean for it to at all. I just kind of wanted to talk about it a little bit because, I mean, these are the things that content creators go through, right? So if you guys hit the like button, that sends a message to YouTube. The more that happens, the more of a message it sends. That kind of stuff helps, but I also don't like to be the guy who's like, hit the like, hit the like, hit the like. Because, I mean, I watch content creators and I didn't love that, right? Somebody spends the first 10 minutes of the video telling you how to like, subscribe, turn the bell on, all that stuff. Like, buddy, come on, talk. So I don't really like to do that. So anyway. All right. What did you do before inventing the TTB? You know what? That's a great question. Before inventing the TTB, I was working with people in different capacities as far as energy healing work and hypnosis work. And then COVID happened. I was already working on the tabletop bong at that time anyway, but COVID happened and it sort of changed my focus when I could no longer see people in person. I really didn't enjoy always working remotely, right? Like there's a disconnect in that. So I just shifted gears and I put everything I had into tabletop bong. I decided to patent and go, right? Like I had to make some big decisions, so I did it. But yeah, but I spent a lot of time doing Reiki sessions with people, hypnosis sessions with people. I have my own energy healing system that was, I guess, gifted to me as far as an understanding is concerned. I use that with people. But funnily enough, the one thing that I did do more than anything, I think, is what I would call conversational hypnosis. So I learned through studying people and through different hypnosis methods, I started watching how their energy would flow when I would say certain things and different triggers. And I could see that I could actually take them into trance while they were wide awake, and they just didn't really realize it was happening. So people were super difficult to let go and to, get out of their own way even for a minute. I would work like that, and that turns out that's a lot of people. So I did a lot of that work. I loved it. Absolutely loved it. I think about that all the time, actually. If I had more time in my life, I would definitely put more of that back in it. But, nice, we can start now. Thank you. I love it. But what I will say I do still, because I know somebody will probably say, well, do you do that anymore? What I do is I can do remote work on people. There's a way energetically, if you understand that the way energy flows, or at least have a comprehension of, you can do a lot with energy that isn't necessarily contained to your physical being, right? You can project energy. You can do all kinds of things with it. So, what I've learned is that I can do energy work with people, and typically I'll do it while they're sleeping. And, it'll be at a remote location. They'll be at their home. It'll be later at night for me. I've done everything I'm going to do for the day. I'm kind of winding down, and it's before I have my final sesh of the day. There might be a 20-minute or a half an hour window in there where I'll just do some energy work on somebody at that point, and they very often feel something different when they wake up. It's pretty cool the way that works. It's pretty fun, right? But I mean, a lot of people think that it's all hokum, and a lot of people will swear by it. So, it's different for everybody, but yeah. Yeah, we're getting trippy early. That's right. You know what? Let's have another Roscoe. That's what I'm thinking. Let's have a Roscoe. But yeah, I will say this. There's been a thread throughout my life where I really love connecting with and helping people in one way or another, right? So what's the channel do? In my opinion, what I was really looking to build was a channel that would help people find the version of themselves with the plant that they're looking for. Because that's often what we're seeking when we're, looking at videos or that kind of stuff. Daisy flowers. Is remote viewing, is it really possible? Well, in my experience, yes, it's 100% possible. And yes, it's definitely possible. And it's something that is, it's very real, and it is practiced quite a bit in places where it might surprise you. I mean, even government systems, they use remote viewers to try and locate people. Like they were using remote viewers to try and locate Bin Laden, I think. Like, it's an intense thing, and definitely it is definitely possible. All right, cheers. Well, yep, definitely the Musa 3000. For sure the CIA uses it. There's no question in my mind. Uh, because I've spent a lot of time studying this stuff. Okay, I guess we're already segueing for a minute. Why not, right? I am certified in, I don't know, 12 to 14 different modalities of energy healing, along with having developed my own, plus all the hypnosis studying that I've done and the courses I've taken. So, I've been around very interesting group of people who think outside of the box, right? Not your traditional thinkers, people who are doing energy work, people who are doing hypnotic trance work, like really interesting people. Some a little bit out there, some far more grounded than you would ever imagine. But what I've learned is there is so much more possible than I think most of us believe. I continue to learn things that are possible that, at this age, I'm pretty sure I know a lot of stuff. And then I learn something basic that's possible that I didn't know, right? It's the more open we are, the more interesting it is, I think. The man that stares at goats. Interesting. All right, Darren. You got your Roscoe ahead? All right. Interesting stuff, yeah. Yeah, Skinner Wheeler, the higher temperatures can definitely bring on more of this sedation effect, right? Definitely. Interesting. Does the background music have anything to do with my energy work? I actually just switched the background music, but the background music that I played for years, yeah, definitely. It's. I had it made specifically to follow kind of a certain rhythm, just to relax the mind, which is stuff I learned through all of this different studying. So I definitely was going for an effect, right, just to kind of get the shoulders to drop down, right? Just from the music in the background. These things layered in that we don't necessarily pay deep attention to can actually, have really great benefits. So I didn't really want to miss out on that one. That's funny, Raj. It becomes something too that the background music, right? It plays every time, and you don't really think about it. It's just there, and the second it's not there, it feels weird, right? It's like watching somebody with glasses that you see them in glasses every time, and then you see them without glasses. You're like, what's going on? Right? It's pretty funny how that stuff works. Well, I know. I think you're right, my guy. When it came right down to it a few years ago, when I had that heart attack and stuff, I think a lot of you know about that. And I had to decide on my own recovery. I had to really make some decisions about what I truly believed and what I didn't believe. Right? And you can play around with energy stuff all you want, but when your life is on the line and you have to make decisions that may or may not, have catastrophic effects, you really have to challenge what you believe. And it was in that time where I really realized that, I truly believed everything that I was doing, and I put my life behind it, right? And at a point, even not that deep into my recovery, I cleared myself of all of the medication. And I'm not saying that everybody should do that, but with the work that I did to prepare myself for it, I was able to rid myself of the medication, and I don't take any medication now, and everything is perfect. So It's just pretty wild, when you truly believe. But I think that's the key thing that is the most important. Whatever you believe is right. If you don't believe it's going to work, it won't work. If you believe it will work, it likely will work. And that's not placebo. It's programming from within, right? So, and that's what hypnosis is, right? It's going into the spot in your mind that has a bit of a bug in the program and just rewiring it, and then the brain starts to operate properly again, right? So it's pretty cool. Pretty cool stuff. All right. For sure it does, man. It does something massive to your life after having a heart attack. And I was I was very, very, very lucky to make it through the one that I had. I was dead for a while, and they put me in a coma for a couple of days and cooled my body so everything would just relax, because they were afraid, even any kind of movement would be enough to do it. And you come back from that, and you really feel like maybe you cheated death, or you got a second chance, or there's something that happens in your mind that makes you realize that maybe you're here for something bigger than just kicking around, right? At least that's what it felt like for me. I was in the hospital. Oh, yeah, I definitely had a near-death experience. Yeah. When I was in the hospital recovering, I was in intensive care, and it was about 10 days after I had the cardiac arrest. And all I could think about was getting home and getting back to building TableTop Bong and the channel and the community. And I mean, I wasn't even a year in at that point in time. I was pretty new at it, but that's all I could think about, right? Just absolutely all I could think about. So, and that's what I declared I was going to do. And they were like, oh, we don't know if you're going to be able to move, buddy. Like, you might just be a guy who hangs out on the couch and watches a lot of TV now. That might be your life. And I said, that ain't going to be my life. I know what I'm going to do. I'm going to go home and I'm going to build a community and I'm going to build bongs and I'm going to fulfill a purpose. So here we are. Wild, eh? Wild. That was yeah, and you know what? No idea. It was actually Mrs. TTB that she saved my life. My heart absolutely stopped, and she moved my body into a completely different position, did the full CPR routine, and kept me viable for life. Managed to call 911, managed to get upstairs, unlock the door, managed to get back to CPR. Like, my hero, man. My hero, for sure, right? I know, man. I was, 52, I think, when I had the heart attack. Yeah, right? Mrs. TTB for the win. That's right. Yeah. Oh, very cool, my guy. Yeah, it's some deep shit, eh? It's some deep shit, for sure. Roscoe for Mrs. TTB. Max, you know what? I'm with you on Twitch, buddy. Let's do it. Roscoe for Mrs. TTB. Yeah, my champion right there. That was, and I'll tell you what. I don't even know how to say this any other way. But if you heard that would fuck you up, wouldn't it? So, yeah. Yeah, wild stuff. Wild stuff. Gratitude all around today. Look at what we're doing instead of all that, right? Like, a few years goes by, all things are different. All this positive energy going on. I am as healthy as an ox. Like, it's pretty wild stuff what we go through. And we can bounce back if, but we got to believe. All right. Cheers, my friends. Oh, for sure. Great. Gosh, that you could do a full stream on this energy healing topic. You know what? 100% I could, actually. But I think with something like that, Whoa! Just scared the hell out of myself. With something like that, I think I would need to do a separate stream and kind of talk about it a little bit ahead of time. And, you know, so that only people that are really into that kind of live stream would join in. I think it would maybe throw some people off. And that's okay. We all come at it different, right? I have no judgment on anybody for how they think about anything. Because I know I think differently than a lot of people. And I hope they don't judge me and they just let me be, right? Because that's what I'm doing too. So... yeah, man. Wild stuff, eh? Wild stuff. So, yeah, I think maybe one day I will do that live stream. That's a cool idea. You guys are so welcome. You know what? I just put into the world what I think I can. Honestly, that's the way I look at it. I love connecting with people, and you know, if we share something, I always get something out of the share too, right? So I figure the more of these kind of interactions that happen, the happier life is all the way around. So what a cool way to go. Okay. All right. All right. I'm getting definitely medicated and ready to move on to something else so that we don't spend too long on this topic. I could, got to be careful. I can go on and on about certain things sometimes. Sofa bottom hypnosis. I'll definitely, you know what, guys, I'll definitely do a live stream where, we can open up the whole floor to different energy healing stuff and hypnosis questions and stuff like that. And I'll just shoot you straight about everything I know. I'll definitely shoot you absolutely straight. So if you're looking for the insider info, if I have it, I'll give it to you for sure. That'll be cool. The tabletop squirrel community. Okay, Connor, you know what you did? You just picked what's going to happen next, my friend. Thank you so much for that energy. All right. Fun facts about squirrels. Let me give you a few fun facts. Did you know that squirrels use deception? Those guys aren't just cute. They're sneaky. Why? Because if another squirrel is watching, and I did some research, I got it right here in front of me. If another squirrel is watching, they'll sometimes dig a fake hole. They'll do a total fake out and pretend they're burying a nut, cover it up, do the whole thing, and they keep the nut hidden in their mouth, and then they run away, and then they wait until that thing is gone, and then they go and put it in another spot close. How smart is that, right? Like, unbelievable. Squirrels are crazy. Oh, son of Keith. Oh, you think it was slowed down. Okay, so the comment was the TTB slowed down was cool. Or the Bong slowed down was cool. I assume that was when I just did that short showing the vapor. Well, I'll tell you what, that was not slowed down. That was real time. 100%. There's no slowdown. That's exactly... Oh, I'm going to do it in a minute or two here. We're going to get to playing that. So much fun, but yeah. Oh, you saw that on a documentary. Cool, man. Okay, let's see what else we got. Okay, let me see who knows this one. This one blew my mind. Squirrels can take their back ankles and rotate them nearly 180 degrees. No joke. Like, turn them right around so they can run down the tree that way, right? Head first, because they can turn their back feet. It's just their back feet. They can turn them around, and then that lets them run down the tree. Did anybody know that one? Squirrels hanging from their back feet eating mulberries, right? Like, these guys are unreal. Watch them around a bird feeder. Oh, Max, you know what? So Max's comment, I think you should rent out a campground and then we could buy spots to camp to camp with you so we could all hang out around a real campfire together and session real life. We could even do some squirrel watching. Yeah, wouldn't that be amazing, right? Yeah, I would love that. That would be such a super cool thing to do. Yeah. Pretty crazy shit, eh? I love me some squirrels. Okay. Okay, the gray squirrel. Okay, the gray squirrel can leap up to 10 feet, 3 meters, can leap 3 meters, can leap up to 3 meters before jumping. It rapidly judges the distance. The branch flexibility, right? Because this is from branch to branch we're talking about. So it will judge the branch flexibility and the landing angle, and it will make split-second adjustments for incredibly accurate landings. Like, come on. And then they use their tails for all kinds of crazy stuff, too. I have that, too. What do they do with their tails? They use their tails as a rudder, as a parachute, as a counterbalance, as a blanket, as an umbrella, and as a communication flag. Gotta love me a squirrel. Oh, yeah. We had 10 to 14 in the backyard. Then some ospreys showed up, and now we have 2. Yeah. Tabletop squirrels. You know what? We should have a Roscoe for squirrels. Right? Roscoe for squirrels? Let's do it. Flying squirrel videos, right? Yes. That's a great point, Great Gosh. Flying squirrel videos are unbelievable. I don't know about you guys, but I like to watch those guys who wear those suits, right? And they fly like no parachute or yeah, what is that even called? Those guys are insane. Base jumpers. Thank you. I just had a total mental block there. All right, Roscoe's for squirrels. Cheers. Oh, JP. Oh my goodness. This is hilarious. This is probably the most bizarre live stream so far. Oh, having so much fun. Okay. You have red, black, and gray. Yeah, I guess, yeah, we do too, I guess. I don't see a lot of red ones, but there's definitely the odd one around. I've seen a couple of albino squirrels too. Pure white. Really weird to look at those things. Plant some squirrel seeds. I love it. The base jumping was totally different in the 80s. Right on. All right. A couple of fun facts about squirrels. Oh my goodness. Too much fun. Too much fun. Oh. All right. Raj is throwing it out there. How old is everyone, by the way? Raj is 44. I'm 56. Had to think about that for a minute. Have to do math. 53 is Darren. No squirrels in Australia. The camels ate them all. Copyright 74. 48. All right, we got age at 60. The wife at 34. Oppenheimer 43. Max 35, Daisy Flower 41, PJ's Photo 68, Modique 67, My Guy 33, Edgar A. Poe 76, OGM, I'm not going to say it all, 26, Phil Silvers 54, We got a good cross section of age in here. Slumpity Dumpty 31, Son of Keith 58, Robert Searles 45, Carl 52, Butterbap 39. Got some OGs in the house. Right on, we do. Foyo 20, 60 with a birthday in 3 days. Great gosh, late 60s. All right. Yeah, this is a good age range. You know what's cool about this, though? What's cool about this? Skinner Wheeler, I feel 102. You have no idea. I no idea. There's really no way to tell how old anybody is by the way the chat flows and by what people drop in the chat. That is such a super cool thing. Or the bingo night crowd. But like, isn't it so cool? I think it's amazing. Yay, thank you for telling me that, Robert. I appreciate that. I'm always so worried about mispronouncing somebody's name, and my eyesight's not great, so I'm kind of like squinting, and I'm not sure what... yeah, sometimes I'm guessing at letters. Oh, Gordon, that's funny. I thought YouTube definitely had a no squirrel policy. Well, we have definitely... I would say that's nuts. But we've definitely broken that, right? All right, let's talk about these the Vaphit collection. I'm trying to think about really how would I explain this collection to make it really easy. The quartz on quartz, it's kind of a creature unto itself, right? It's unlike the other two, so it has, a quartz insert, and then you can put your water pipe adapter on it, or a mouthpiece, and then the heating dome. Very small bowl, but with the small bowl, it's such a efficient extraction, and of course, it's a hybrid experience, right? So you're going to get conduction and convection, very hard hitting, with a very little bit of flour. So, it's a real efficient extractor, and I know a lot of people in our community definitely have this one. I know this is definitely a fan favorite, right? And I think because it's inexpensive to start with, and it does a great job, right? It gives and it's easy to work. So then there's the X, and now the HX. What it feels like to me, the X has a stainless steel tip, and then you put the dome over it, and you heat the dome, and then you pull heat off of the dome, right? So it's just like basically the same idea as a typical vap cap, but it's a little bit larger, and it's quartz. So you have convection holes in the side of the tip, and the tip is stainless steel. So you get pretty nice flavor with that. You get a good hit for sure. And I'm gonna sample them all so you can see exactly how they work and ask whatever questions you have along the way. I'm just kind of trying to do a quick synopsis. And then you get the new HX. This thing, I got to tell you what, I'm blown away by it. I really like this thing, and I'm going to bring it in a little closer. Okay, see the size of this dome, right? It goes all the way to the bottom. Okay, so you think, well, what do you need all that for? You're just going to heat up here. Well, what I found with this, if I heat that whole cap and I get that whole thing really, really well heated, not overheated, but just really heat soaked, it gives you so much more heat and such a really nice convection style experience. It feels like it's primarily convection. There's convection holes again in the side of the tip. I'm pretty sure it's the exact same tip as the X. And it's really just this dome, and the rest of the setup is more like the QoQ or the QoQ, right? But it's like this is a hybrid of these two. But what I love about this one, guys, okay, and this is a big deal to me too. This one, you can take that off, and you get two different thicknesses. You get 1 and 1.5 millimeter thick for the dome. So, you know, they have a bit of a different heating cycle, a little faster or slower depending on the thickness, plus heat retention, right? I like the thinner one personally. I find it's just balanced with the way I vaporize better. But going back and forth, you know, you'll find the one that works for you. Okay. All right, so that's cool. You know what? I will tell you, with any of these specifically, if I was going to say, you know, out of these three, what am I into, what am I not into? I would say out of the three, I'm definitely into the HX, and I'm definitely into the quartz on quartz. The X, I can put it off to the side and not really worry about it too much. Especially because I have access to these two. That one I'm not really going to reach for. If I want this experience, I'm just going to grab the HX instead. Right? And because I want this extra heating potential with this larger quartz cap. But there's one other thing that this lets you do that you can't do with the X that I think is definitely worth mentioning. If you take this top off, you can take this tip out, and you can replace that with a Dynavap tip. So because the convection holes are, you know, in my opinion, it's going to give you a better vaporizing experience, a more flavorful experience if they're there. I went to the Helix tip. So I pulled this out, I put the Helix tip in, and then you can put this right back on, right? And it works exactly the same way as it does with the Vaphit stainless steel tip. Now these tips you can get a little more flour in. I think you get about 1.12 of a gram versus 0.1 of a gram in a traditional Dynavap. But so it allows you the flexibility to swap in your Dynavap tips with this heating system. I was like, this is super cool. Now this is way more versatile for sure than the X. The X, you're going to use that. You know, you're going to use it in this configuration. This, you can take the tip out and you can marry it up with any Dynavap stem, right? But this dome needs this tip, right? Whereas this dome does not need that tip. It's being connected below the tip, down here, while the tip's up there. Yeah, Vaphit HX is the one here in the middle. Yeah. Yeah, you know what? Like, honestly, either one of these two, in my opinion, are crazy value for what you get out of them. The X, there's nothing wrong with it, but if the HX is available, I'm definitely not going to go to the X. I'm going to go to the HX just because it's got the bigger dome. It doesn't need to have anything more going on than just that. I prefer the glass water pipe adapter and swirl stem, I guess it is. One of these glass stems comes in the kit with it. And then you get like, you know, tweezers and stuff for switching O-rings. You get all kinds of O-rings and stuff like that. Plus you get these little silicone grabbers so that you can handle it when it's hot. You can flip the bowl on the quartz on quartz, Robert. Yes. But I will tell you what, I've done it let's just do it right now. Okay, so that's how it sits right now. When I'm working with O-rings, I always just twist a little bit back and forth. It seems to work better for the O-rings. It doesn't seem to push on them as hard. If you're going to flip it, number one, you want to keep it up a little bit from the bottom. I can't get a good shot of that. But I'm leaving a little gap down here. And you can definitely get more flour in there. But honestly, after doing that and, using it the way that it's made to be used, I just went back to the way it's made to be used. I'd rather just, I can have 2 bowls like this, have it work perfectly, and not feel like I'm, sucking a thick milkshake, I guess, right? Because it's a lot of flour in a thin stem. So, just a little bit in there, it seems to be more efficient. Yeah. Yeah, this is, what I love about this, guys? The more we talk about this, throw whatever question you have out there, because if you have a question and if you're like, nah, I don't want to ask that, somebody else is thinking it too, so throw it out there, and I might not know, but somebody's going to know. So that's all we need, right? We just need we got the crew, so. Oh, so awesome. Beautiful. OGM Joliner. Thank you for that comment. That's amazing. You know what? There are very few things that make me happier than helping somebody find whatever connection it is they need to, fulfill the vaping part and let go of the combustion part. I just love, I love that so much. It's a real game changer for a lot of people, not for everybody, right? But I just think if, somebody just kind of shows you some options, you find the thing that fits quick, right? And then you're in, and I love it. Because as soon as you're in, you feel so much better. So much better. Yeah, it's crazy. Okay, so let's hit the quartz on quartz first. Yeah, let's do that. This is definitely something I grabbed for a fairly good amount. It's because it's such small amounts of flour that you put in it. I almost feel like it doesn't even count. But what I love about it is I just put in this small amount of flour. Like you guys who have one, you know this. You put in this tiny bit of flour and you take a few rips off of it and you're like, whoa. How did this feeling come from that little bit of flour? Right? I find super efficient small dosers, this, Dynavap, things like that, definitely surprise me, right? When you think about how much flour you can throw in a ball vape bowl and rip it once or twice, and then you think about, I'm throwing in a third in this, and I'm going to rip it 3 times, and they're all going to be these fun full rips. Flame's starting to go orange on contact now. All right, I'm bringing in a dry ripper instead of a wet ripper. All right. Probably need to heat it back up, but we'll give it a little test. Oh, that was fun. Yeah, about 45 US dollars for I think the quartz on quartz, it's a little bit more than that, but then The HX is, yeah, 45. Hi, Zen Moon. How much fun is a quartz on quartz? That tiny little bit of flour. A couple of nice rips like that. What I love about something like this too, if you enjoy the process, and I'll show you what that looks like now. So it's still nice and light. I could probably hit that one more time if I wanted to push it. Okay, why don't I actually? I'll just push it. Why not? If you enjoy the process of vaporizing and using manual vaporizers like this, this is such a fun one because you put such a little amount in and you can play vapes for a while, right? You can play vaporizers for a little while. You can have, 3 bowls maybe. If you have a bit of tolerance, maybe you could have 4 bowls. I mean, you're going to get pretty goofy and playful at that point, but I mean, it gives you a chance to really play with the device and just to have some fun and slow down and be present in the sesh too. So much fun. Yeah, it was a good rip. Yeah, perfect. What a fun one that is. I enjoy this thing so much. I just think, especially too, if you're on 1 or 2 devices pretty much all the time, right, and you're going back and forth, say, between your portable and your desktop, right, and you kind of switch back and forth between those 2, but they kind of each have their purpose. Throwing in something like the quartz on quartz or the HX or the X, but I mean, I think really the HX is the better value out of the X or the HX. I think the HX is the value. But I think throwing one of these in, it just gives you a whole other avenue to play vapes, to goof around, to have fun, get some big effects from these things on top of it, right? Yeah. Daisy flowers. Okay. Oh, Simrel, yeah. Yeah, Simrel, you get that dialed in. Ooh, that's some terpy flower. Simrel can give you some really nice flavor, yeah. Yeah, the key with these, I think, in my opinion at least, is straw method to load them. And I don't pack them at all. Like, just don't pack them. This will hold 0.12 of a gram roughly, but I'm probably not putting in more than about 0.075 the way I'm loading it up. And I'm just taking a couple of good rips off of it, and then I'm just loading it up again. Because, again, it's filling that role of I want to play and I want to goof around, I want to enjoy the entire experience. But I heat it from top to bottom to get more heat into this cap. And the flavor is just, it's surprising, honestly. Shipping costs to the UK. There are two different rates for shipping to the UK, like to most countries. And it is basically tracking. Tracking or no tracking. This is a triple flame. That's the name, LC Fun. This was just one I grabbed off of Amazon. It's pretty easy to find. It depends if you're going to go with tracking or not tracking. I can't remember the numbers right off the top of my head. But if you put your address in on the TableTop Boz website, it'll just pop you up a couple of options for shipping, and you'll see exactly what the charges are, whether it's with tracking or without. But the thing with the tracking or not tracking, either way, it's the exact same amount of time. It's between 2 and 3 weeks from the time it ships out for it to get to your door. Anywhere in there, it just depends on how the post is going, but it's typically never more than that. All right, let's see if I got enough heat in this now. That's really nice. Now, if I was to say unfiltered, my personal preference, I think the quartz on quartz has a tiny bit better flavor than the HX. But as soon as I throw the titanium helix tip in this, right, if you're already playing with Dynavap and it's something you can kind of switch around, all of a sudden, it adds a different layer to it. So then I would say they're probably pretty close for flavor then. So that basically was producing vapor all the way through that inhalation. And I stopped inhaling around the time when that's not going to work. That'll work. Around the time it stopped producing vapor. And you can see, right, like that's not super dark roast, right? It's a nice convection heating. It's giving me a bit of the terp tickle in the back of the throat because it's because of the convection. Oh, look, a squirrel. Does anybody have any questions about these? Whatever you might want to know about them, throw it out there if you got any questions. Oh, that just gave me the terp tickle. I'm gonna have to pause vaping for 1 to 2 minutes for sure now. Drink some fluids. Okay. I wanted to see, I thought I had one more. Squirrels have been credited with helping to plant entire forests from them burying things and not digging them up and them actually growing. That was the other thing I wanted to mention about squirrels. So they didn't even know how cool and helpful they were. They were just being cool and helpful. Okay. So now, now I'm crack-a-lacked. All right. Let me just see if there was any questions since I asked, and then I stopped looking. We're looking at the Vaphit collection. We have the Vaphit Quartz on Quartz, the Vaphit HX, and the Vaphit X. So we've just been kind of looking at those, and I'm asking if there's any questions. And now facts about squirrels. All right, no, we're gonna move on to intermediate level true or false trivia while we have some Roscoe's. I thought I would get some slightly more difficult questions and test you guys and see where everybody's knowledge is at. It's always fun to play these games too, right? And it just can open up fun topics of conversation when you don't even know it's coming. So, okay, let's we'll start with this is definitely an intermediate question. True or false? Limonene is one of the most volatile common cannabis terpenes. True or false? What do you think? Limonene is one of the most volatile common cannabis terpenes. What's my favorite munchie? Oh, I have a list of favorite munchies. I like anything sweet, I like anything salty, and I like peanut butter and jam sandwiches. Those are my favorite things. Maybe an ice cream sandwich along the way, too. Yeah, those are my favorites for sure. What about you guys? What's your... Okay, that's it. You know what? That's probably... all right, you got it, Dancing Flames. You got it. Okay. All right. Good. So I'm yeah, it's definitely true. Definitely true. Okay, cool. All right. I love doing this right when everybody's absolutely had a number of Roscoe's and feeling like paying attention might be tough, right? That's always the best time to test somebody's knowledge of something. I'm just trying to come up with a... Let's see, what else will test the boundaries? Adding more balls to a ball vape always produces better vapor. True or false? Adding more balls to a ball vape always produces better vapor. What do you think, true or false? This is a science one now. All right. Yeah, everybody on Twitch got it. Yeah, everybody got it. Very good. I'm surprised a lot of people knew that one. I kind of, for the limonene, I was kind of pushing the boundary at the beginning right away, see what was happening. Hey, No Facey, nice to see you. All right, you guys understand the science clearly. Definitely false. Adding more does not... yeah, perfect. That's right. Age, it all depends on the size of the balls. Yeah, and more is not always better. That's for sure. It's really an interesting thing, right? Balls or gem cut too, right? Faux 20, that's a great point too. It's what I have noticed, because I guess I've tested a lot of ball vapes now, and I've done a lot of work on the locked pearl and stuff like that. So I kind of really kind of dug into the whole ball thing. Oh, I heard it too. I heard it too. And what I've come to realize is sometimes really small differences, and not always bigger is better. Sometimes it's just a very small design change will make a massive difference in the outcome. So it really is about, tweaking a basic design as much as you can, but not necessarily adding more balls to get there. Free nuts for squirrels. Too funny. Thank you, JP. I really appreciate that, buddy. Too funny. Okay, here's a good one. Try this one, guys. Convection heat can continue extracting cannabinoids even after visible vapor decreases. Okay, let me try and say that again. Convection heat can continue extracting cannabinoids even after visible vapor decreases. So when, the vapor's just about gone, is it or isn't it extracting cannabinoids? True or false? False. Oh, goodness. All right, definitely true. Definitely true. There's some pretty fun vaping experiences, very low temperatures where you can barely see the vapor. It almost is just like a little fog coming out of your mouth, right? And you can get a really, really interesting experience because you can, say, if you have a portable vaporizer, you can drop 0.2 of a gram in it and you can probably vape that for 10 minutes. You know what I mean? And you just get flavor burst after flavor burst. And it's a cool experience playing around in those really, really low temperatures. That one's the quartz on quartz. Ooh. This has been fun hitting these ones tonight. Quartz over quartz. Quartz on quartz. Oh, Cotter. That's funny. That's funny. All right, what else we got? Let's see. Live resin is usually made from fresh frozen cannabis. True or false? Live resin is usually made from fresh frozen cannabis. True or false? What do you guys think about that? I don't know how much knowledge there is out there about these, specialty ways of coming at it. Nice. That's good, Age. Yeah, having charts that show you, and I definitely have posted some on the channel along the way too. Having charts that show you what terpenes are released at different temperatures. Even if you don't get a terpene listing, if you target those temperatures and you pay attention to the flavor and the feeling you get from vaping on that temperature, typically you can start to map out a sensation based on temperature and terpenes, right? So from a strain, you'll get to know that it has more of this or less of that just because of how it acts at different temperatures. But it takes some time to really get that analytical with your flower too, right? Some people do and some people don't. No, the answer is true in this case, yes. Uh, oh yeah, what question were we on? Oh yeah. Live resin is usually made from fresh frozen cannabis. Wow, that was a tongue twister there. Yeah, and man, you can really taste the difference between a live resin and just a say diamonds or something, right? Like you can really taste the difference in the live resin, the natural terpenes versus the botanical terpenes. I don't particularly love high levels of botanical terpenes in a concentrate because that can be extracted from anywhere, right? It's not necessarily cannabis, but it's still natural, right? But they freeze it when it's live, right? Like that's the whole point. It's like frozen right after harvest, so it's not cured first. Oh my goodness. Uh, all right, let's see. All right, I see. We're in probably the right range of questions. If you guys think they should be harder, tell me, because yeah, I like doing this. It's kind of fun. It's a fun way to sort of see where everybody's at, and not everybody's on the same level. So it's a fun way to learn this stuff and have some Roscoes. Okay. Uh, True or false? Grinding flour finer improves extraction. Okay, grinding flour finer improves extraction. What do you guys think? True or false? I can't wait to see what you guys say about this one. Oh, too funny. Define extraction. Vapor output, I guess, is how I would describe it. If you grind it finer, you'll get more vapor. I guess that's the easiest way to break that down. I don't know. You can... I don't know what's happening. I just heard a crash. Too funny. Too funny. Mrs. TTB is, she's deep in a sesh, I'm thinking. Oh, hilarious. Time to Verosco. I'm going to hit the, Musa 3000. I'm feeling like it. Yeah, let's do it. Okay, most people were on it. Yeah, it's definitely false. It's definitely false. Different grinds are definitely going to sometimes, and I play around with grinds a fairly good amount, everywhere from fine up to coarse. And I can take a particular flower and grind it with a coarse grind and vape it on a certain temperature a certain way, and then do it again with a medium grind and a fine grind. And it's three different experiences, but it isn't always more vapor with the fine grind. quite often it's the medium grind that is getting you the very most vapor, which kind of surprises me, but that's almost kind of a rule across the board, is what my experience has taught me anyway. Yeah. All right, let's have a Roscoe. Guys, ready for another Roscoe? Oh goodness, why not? Let's do it. Cheers. Oh boy. Gotta love that. Okay, true or false? A dry bong generally preserves more terpene flavor than the same bong filled with water. Okay, you got that? A dry bong generally preserves more flavor than the same bong filled with water. True or false? True. 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 It's a dry day for sure. That's right. True, 1000%. And way less terp tickle. Interesting. Do you have squirrels in your house? I sure hope not. Someone say false. That's funny. Yeah, I think everybody can agree. Yeah. Yeah, but my throat hurts more. Is it worth the pain? That's funny. That's you know what? That's a result of the actual answer to that question, right? It's because there are more terps. Well, and the vapor is still going to be a little bit warmer too, right? Without the water to cool it. Even in the same piece, right? Like I can use stems and do all of that to enhance the cooling, but it still won't be quite as cool as with water in it. But I mean, that's where you do lose a little bit of the flavor, and that's always the trade-off, right? Does dry get you more high? That's a very interesting question. I think dry opens you up to more of the entourage effect from the terpenes in the plant, right? Because you're preserving more terpenes, so you will definitely feel more of the, if let's say you have a high level of limonene and pinene in the flower, that'll give you an uplifting feeling, right? You'll feel a little more of that if it's dry, for sure, than you will if it's wet. Yeah, so I guess in that sense it hits harder. It hits differently. What I find is if I vape and I use a dry bong specifically, say for a day or two, and that's 90% of my intake is through a dry bong, then when I go back to the wet bong, I find that it hits harder than the dry bong. It's different, right? And I think that when you switch back and forth, they both hit just differently. Yeah. Interesting. Yeah, see, everybody's a little bit different too. I'm going to have another Roscoe. I just decided I'm just loading up for another one right away. I don't know why I'm doing that. But since I'm on autopilot and I'm doing it, I'm just going to go ahead and have it, I suppose, right? Why not? What's worse that's going to happen here? At this point, I'm not worried about losing it. That's funny. So, Age is saying that Age is now using a dry bong specifically over water, and says going back to water makes her cough. And it's interesting how we're all a little bit different, right? So that might work that way for age, might not work that way for me. It might work that way for me on Monday and Wednesday, but not on Tuesday. Like, it's just crazy how these experiences, if we just move around a little bit within the experience. Hi, Kim. If we move around and try different things, we find our sweet spot each day, or, it's kind of funny how that works. I got to hit this. I keep heating this bowl up. Cheers. A raw squirrel. Yeah, it goes the other way for Kilroy. Oh, Connor, you're hilarious. Oh my goodness. Squinter. Oh, now I'm having too many Roscoes. I'm just being entertained by you guys. Uh-oh. Super preheat in the house. How's it going? It's, you know what, it's worth a try, Max, and just, seeing if it connects with you, right? And sometimes where I think that dry ripping really comes into play is, lower temperatures for sure. And if you're really, looking to extract a specific experience, right? You want to, let's say, get all the limonene possible out of a plant. So you're going to focus in around 185, 190 degrees Celsius, right? Then not having the water in there, right? You're not running super hot vapor, so you can really do it with a dry bong and get the most out of the experience. But using a quality piece of glass that helps to elongate the air path and has different ways of diffusing the vapor also helps too, right? I mean, not all pieces. Hey, Plamokin, nice to see you. Not all pieces will work the same way, right? But you can always do things like dropping marbles in, into smoking bongs and stuff like that, even as an equalizer to cool the vapor down and stuff. Yeah, so interesting, eh? How we do. That's a great point, H. We get these preconceived ideas, like, using a dry bong, it's just going to make me cough. I need the water. And in some cases, that's true, right? When you're really pushing the thick vapor, when I'm pushing on that line of combustion sometimes, right? I like to push up to it and dial back a little bit sometimes for that really heavy experience. I really like that feeling, but only at a certain time. And then I definitely want water. But if it's the middle of the afternoon and I'm looking for the uplifting experience, I can definitely go dry and enjoy it. It cools okay, that's a good question. How does it cool the vapor while it's dry? So for instance, this stem that I made, it has different pinches of glass, and then I've embedded some terp pearls in here, so as the vapor passes through the stem, the glass will absorb a lot of the heat out of there. And then there's another spot up here in this connection that takes more heat out of it by adding more glass into the air path. And then you have the long hose, and then there's more pinches up here with the glass in the mouthpiece. So you get a lot of places where you're disrupting the vapor, and every time you disrupt the vapor path with glass, typically you're pulling heat out of it, and the glass absorbs it all the way along. Plus, you have the long path of the hose, which absorbs some heat as well. So by the time you're inhaling it, it's much cooler than, say, if you have a battery powered portable vaporizer in your hand, right? So that means you can, use desktop vaporizers and bigger devices and push the temperature up a little further, and not have the water. So it's all about the balance, though, right? You have to find your own balance when you're playing around with these things. And most people will find where they cough and, where they're comfortable pretty quick. And as soon as you find that home, it's pretty cool because then you can really play around with it. Yeah. Oh, very cool, Max. Okay. With your tabletop bong, the stem that has the vertical cuts in it that you put the terp pearls in, drop about, say, 10 6 millimeter terp pearls in that stem and use that one running it dry. And that's going to give you a pretty good level of diffusion for dry rips. Um, you'll get a good idea for sure. I think you'll like the difference in experience. I think a lot of people do. It's surprising to most people how comfortable using a dry bong can be if it's set up halfway decently. So, yeah, pretty cool. Yeah, and you can definitely sash more without cleaning your piece. That's a good point too, H. Yeah. So much fun, eh, Rascal? Having all the new stuff to play around with, right? I love that. And when you get some, you're gonna approach it two ways. You're either gonna take your time and I'm gonna try this and I'm gonna enjoy the experience and move on, and you kind of spread out the fun, or you devour it right away, right? Like a kid at Christmas opening presents. It's funny. It's cool. Yeah, I sometimes I vary. If I'm getting a new device, I vary on which way I approach it. Sometimes I have to devour it right away, and other times I'm like, no, I'm gonna just kind of take my time. I'm not gonna rush. Yeah, it's just funny how it hits you. So funny, eh? How these small things. Yeah, these small things, these small changes, right? And that's what's cool when we hang out and we talk about these things. Um, right, we all kind of learn something from each other and how each other experiences it. And it kind of confirms for us, or if we've been like, oh, I don't really know if I'm going to bother with that. And then, you heard 10 people go, no, I love it. Then you play around with it. It kind of gives you a little push, and, you learn in the conversation also how to do it at the same time, which is cool. Right, Roscoe? It's hard to just, yeah, I know. That's where I'm lucky. Roscoe's saying, you can't vape as much as you want to. Um, I like when I have times where I'm testing a device, right? Like I'll get something new in, and I'll be looking at it and kind of taking it apart and dissecting it in my mind and the experience, and I'll kind of go into a full like really long session the first time I use it, and I really take my time and I try and block everything out and become super present while I'm doing it. Um, Rip a Roscoe. All right, let's rip a Roscoe. Roscoe? Right. All right. All right. Yeah. Oh, boy. Oh, there it is. I didn't empty the bowl. Man, oh, man. See, I get high and I just keep talking and the basic things escape me. uh, That's a good idea too, Plamokin. You're right. CBD flower, right? And I thought about that when I'm testing a new device. I'm like, I could use CBD, but then I'm like, well, how do I know how it hits? Right? Like, I feel really relaxed and my body feels great. Okay, well, that doesn't tell me how it's going to hit with THC. So I have to do the full program, right? And I typically use the best flower I have when I'm testing something. Because I figure, why not? I'll give the vaporizer the best shot, right? And if it can send me through the moon with the best weed I have, then, it's definitely a good one, right? Then, I'm looking at it from that angle. All right, let's have it. Cheers. Oh, wow. Yeah. But I definitely like CBD flower for its benefits. Yeah, that was definitely a good one. That was a good rip. This Musa 3000, I really enjoy this thing. And I'm not an affiliate. Believe me, I actually bought it. I got a deal on it from them, but it definitely wasn't a gimme. That's for sure. And I just really enjoy it. Let's see. Let's see what else we got. Okay, true or false? CBD can block the effects of THC. All right, and somebody's going to say block at how much? Okay, let's say completely. CBD can completely block the effects of THC. Ah, interesting. Age says true. My go-to ball vape right now is definitely the Musa 3000 is one I'm reaching for a fairly good amount. But when it comes to am I going to grab a ball vape and I'm going to like try and learn some stuff for the community and stuff like that, then I usually grab the Ruby Twist. Yeah, because I think that's... okay, we got a bunch of falses there. Okay. That's why I don't use it. Okay, definitely false. There's no question that CBD can help smooth out the effects of THC if you've definitely had too much, or it can work well, but it definitely won't block it. There's a lot of flower that is a combination of THC and CBD that have really beautiful effects, right? Very light THC effects and nice strong CBD effects, but you definitely feel both effects from flower that has both THC and CBD. So that was almost a little bit of a trick question though, right? No problem, Kim. Yeah, I think honestly, for a lot of people, unless you're gonna dive into the ball vape game, if you want to get in and you want to get a really good value and you want to learn about ball vapes and what to do with it, my first pick probably for a more aggressive price point would be the Ruby Twist Pro, and I would pick that one over the Ruby Twist because it comes with the full kit, right? Like, so you can remove the part that twists the air, which is why it's called the Ruby Twist, and you can make it just like a full titanium and bead ball vape, like a normal ball vape. So it's like getting two in one, and it uses small amounts of flower for big effects. So I really like that kit, and it's a little bit dressed up compared to the Ruby Twist. So I definitely like that one. Convector coming in 2 days. Convector gives you some good flavor. Yeah, Convector and Convector XL. Nice flavor with those. Too funny. They definitely recommend if you feel too high that CBD is going to be a good way to do it. But what it does is it smooths out the effects versus blocks them. It works with it. And it definitely smooths the whole experience out. It relaxes you. Because a lot of time when you feel like you're too high, it becomes an anxiety response within the body. And CBD definitely helps to kind of bring that down and slow everything down so that you can be in a better space during the experience, and it takes the sting out of it when you feel too high. Well, Ruby Twist or Ruby Twist Pro, either way, you can't go wrong. Like, you can't go wrong for a first ball vape. Yeah, I think I don't really know that I've heard anybody, and if there's anybody out there that has the Ruby Twist that doesn't like it, drop it in the chat. I would love to know, and love to know why, because I think everybody I've talked to about the Ruby Twist is like, yeah, that's a winner. Like, especially for that price point, it's a winner. And I personally, I prefer to use a wired ball vape over a wireless ball vape a good portion of the time. When I'm going to sesh, I might go back to back for a few bowls pretty quick, right? Because I'm doing small doses, right? 0.1 of a gram, and I'm ripping through it. And I like to get a few of those into me back to back, and I can cool down a lot of the portable ball vapes if I'm not careful. So I don't want to wait in between. So the coil helps, right? I work with the coil better than I do the wireless, I guess. Yeah. Okay, yeah. Yeah, if you don't care, honestly, um, yeah, Ruby Twist or Ruby Twist Pro. We've got 2 Ruby Twists, yeah. That's funny, Connor. Very funny. Do I have tea left? I do. Flattens the curve. That's a good way to say that. Thank you. Yeah, about the CBD. Oh, Kim's gonna pull the trigger. I think Kim's gonna get herself a Ruby Twist soon. I think you're gonna do it. You're right on the edge now. This is what happens if VAS is taken over. We've all fallen victim to this stage of the game, I think. Right? Where you're thinking about it, you're humming and hawing, and then you're, taught yourself a little more, a little more, a little more, and you're just steps from the line. Oh, yeah, I've been there so many times. Right, twisting the night away, right on. That's funny. I know, I do rip on the ball vapes pretty hard, right? Yeah, that's why wired definitely works for me. And I think the Musa too, right, has such a massive amount of thermal mass up here. I can rip this thing back to back to back to back if I want to, and it keeps up all day long. So and I have a reasonably hungry appetite for a good session every now and then, right? Okay, here's what I'm gonna say, Kim, and I'm gonna be serious on it. I don't know if you have any tattoos or not, but I think most people experience getting a tattoo, and next thing you know, they have another one. It's just kind of how it works. It does that thing where you really just, can't get enough. And that's what happens when you get a ball vape. Like, no joke. I got my first ball vape, and within 3 weeks, I think I had ordered 7 more. No joke. Like, I was all in. Yeah. All right. Age says hi, Kim, by the way. That's funny. She's not visible on YouTube, but on Twitch, so. Did I rip that? Well, when in doubt, I'll just load it again. Because if I did rip it, that's gonna... Yeah, that feels like I did. Alright, it's time to load one up. Why not? Because now I can't even remember if I've loaded it or not, so... Oh no, I know. Yeah, I did vape that. Yeah, I'm ripping big bowls here too. I think I'm putting in about 0.25 of a gram. I'm just filling this bowl up. Why not? It's so much fun. I've been looking forward to this live stream so much. I think I mentioned, right? Like, I've been kind of walking into the wind a little bit, a day here and a day there. And all the way along, I'm like, oh yeah, I can't wait for Thursday and Friday. Just cut loose. It's so much fun. Who else gets to spend their time being this this silly? Having this much fun, right? All right. Cheers. Is that Great Gosh is saying the Pro's only about $20 more or something? Right? Smoke sessions together is so much fun, right? Exactly, I love it too. This is... Yep. Use a website down for construction, eh? Yeah, I don't know if... I don't know for sure when or if he's coming back. I hope so. Definitely hope so. It's a really it's a cool device. Small batch when it was in production, but it's a very cool device for sure. It's nice too because it's an analog device, so like you can see I'm taking these really big rips with it. And I'm running the bong dry, and I'm not, like, I'm getting a bit of a cough. It's a lot of vapor back to back, but with that analog delivery system, right, the way it runs off of this little, it's plugged in, can I see it? This little box instead of a digital power controller, right, instead of something like that. So, yeah, that thing's fun. Yeah, Musa 3000. Yeah, I definitely hope he comes back. He's on to something with that. That's for sure. That's for sure. Yeah, Musa is the brand, and this is the Musa 3000. That's right. That's exactly right. Yeah. All right. All right. Do I have any more that I think will be fun for you guys? Okay. Leaving flower exposed to air for long periods of time can reduce terpene content. True or false? What do you guys think? Leaving flower exposed to air for long periods of time can reduce terpene content. Age says true. All can't find the Tempest 2 visual indicator springs in Canada, Ezra. Have you tried, like, I guess you probably would have tried all the regular spots, right? Like the Herb Cafe, Sneaky Pete, or Great White North. Um, yeah. Okay, everybody's saying true. Vacuum seal jars. No, man, I'm with you. It's true, but uh, yeah, maybe V goodies. I wonder if it's cross compatible with the original Tempest. I'm not sure if it is or if it isn't, but that might open the door to, easier availability for some unknown reason, or maybe, I don't know, maybe you have the original Tempest and it's cross compatible. Just kind of thinking out loud anyway. Wireless one hit wonder for 300 Canadian. Yeah, that's a steal, all right. Yeah, it's pretty limiting what we have access to in Canada, isn't it? It's bizarre. It truly is. Everything is so tightly controlled. Yeah, the flow of things is very difficult. Everybody has said true, and it is absolutely true. What's the good news about that? If you get flour that let's say you get some flour and you have it and it makes you super anxious, right? And this is not uncommon with certain strains, right? You have some super anxious, play around with temperature, same thing. Then grind some medium grind and then just leave it open to the air for, half an hour before you vape it. And sometimes that is enough time to lose the fragrance, right? Which is the terpenes, and to just really be free of some of that big hit of terpenes that can give you that wash of anxiety. So it's just a little trick, right? If you get flour that is not working perfectly for you, try grinding it, letting it sit, and sometimes even letting it sit overnight, open, and then if you have to, add a little moisture back to it. But it can really help. Yeah. Yeah, I think a lot of people are, yeah, struggling. Yeah, for sure. Cleaning up with a dynamite would win for a cheeky sesh. Perfect, rad TTB, love it. Yeah, Canada will tax you for everything. Yeah, well, all we can do is just try and make the best of it, right? I mean, that's kind of what we have. Have a good sesh, try and laugh off what we can, and the rest is just sometimes a tough reality we got to face, and shit can be tough sometimes for sure. Yeah, it's nice to blow off moments, right, and get these moments where we can get them anyway. Yeah, it's funny, right? You know what I think? I think it's definitely time for Roscoe. Why not, right? Yeah, let's have a Roscoe. What do you think? What should we have a Roscoe for? You guys tell me. What should we have a Roscoe for? Let's let's put some energy at something. Yeah, that's right, JP. Roscoe time. Yeah, that's right. Got to rip the bong harder, right? Yeah. All right, everybody's in for the Roscoe. To life. All right. You know what? How about we have a Roscoe just for good vibes and, these moments of sharing that we're lucky enough to steal away from the world for. All right, my friends. Cheers. All right, I'm emptying the bowl right away this time so I remember what's going on. I'm doing surprisingly well on this blend of weed that I put together. All right, Cotter, take it easy. We'll see you tomorrow. Yeah, I'm getting ready to wrap this up right now too. Honestly, I'm getting definitely pretty. I'm having a hard time even keeping my eyes open now. So let me ask you guys the true/false questions. They were too easy tonight, eh? What do you guys think? Today, tomorrow, indeed. That's right. All right. Peace, Cotter. Questions were too easy. How could they get 50% harder, you think? They were good? Okay. Oh, we're going to have one more Roscoe for sure, JP. Don't worry about that. I'm not quite done yet. True enough, man. You got to clean the bowl right away, or it is definitely harder. Okay, Plamokin, it was nice to see you tonight, my friend. Yeah, we're going to definitely have one more for sure. Secret squirrel. Some inside baseball questions. Sweet, okay. All right, so I'm gonna just add a tiny bit more spice, maybe, right? Like just a tiny bit more, and we'll see how that hits. Fun, thank you, Max. I appreciate that. Yeah, I like the trivia thing like this because it just kind of you never know where the conversation's gonna go off of a question, right? And it's always fun to see what people say in the chat and different perspectives. And here's the thing, I like true and false because it oh, interesting. Okay, I'm going to answer that one in a second. I just let myself get distracted there. Oh yeah, with the true or false, I like to put something out there that seems kind of almost absolute, so that it gets no, let's challenge that, because that's where the fun conversations come from, right? So that's to me way more fun than like multiple choices. Like pick one way or the other, and let's talk it out. And as I suspect, and has been proven. Each time we do this, it ends up in these fun side conversations that take the chat where the most fun is. So it's pretty cool. I like it. So I'll add a tiny bit more spice and we'll see how that lands. That's pretty fun. Thank you guys for the feedback. So much fun. All right. This is so much fun. I can't honestly, I can't actually believe how much I enjoy doing this with how nervous I was thinking about it in the very beginning, right? Trying to, I guess, get the nerve to do this. And, what if you make massive mistakes? And what are you doing? Of course, you're getting absolutely ripped on camera. And that's definitely going to be a recipe for disaster somewhere along the way, at least a few times, right? So you have to be pretty comfortable. And that's a bit... it was a bit nerve-wracking in the beginning, but I mean, I love it so much now. It's so much fun. So much fun. You guys make it so easy. It's so easy to chat and have this great time, right? And it feels like we're just a bunch of friends, honestly, hanging around the campfire, and that's what I love about it. And I love seeing how everybody's got some cool things to say. So, so there was a question in the chat I missed. When were you last sober for an extended period of time? Do you take a break from vaping? Well, the last time I suppose I was sober for... well, I guess I gotta say... that's funny. The last time I was sober for an extended period of time would have been a few years ago when I had a heart attack. And there was definitely a period of recovery where I was sober for... how long? Maybe completely, totally for over a month anyway. I was vaping CBD in there, but no THC for a good month, 6 weeks. But that was probably the last time. Do I take extended breaks? No, I definitely don't. It's vaping and the way that the plant interacts with me. It's kind of part of my operating system, honestly. I found a balance with myself where I get the best out of myself and I feel the best. When I control my doses and I work in I work in balance with the plant. So yeah, it's in my life a very good amount. But I'm highly productive, so it actually helps me be productive. So we all kind of have these different things with it, right? But yeah, I don't ever really desire to, have like long tolerance breaks or anything like that. Some people do, some people don't. Everybody balances differently, right? But for me personally, I want it every day. And it just helps me feel the balance that I want. And it doesn't have to be very much. And I can have it every day and I don't develop crazy tolerance. I'm just good at managing the effects because I do it often, so I can be really high and just I know what to do still, right? So, but it doesn't mean I'm not really high. That's the fun part, right? Like right now, yeah, I can still talk, but I'm not sure how when I zoom out and think about it. All right, that's it. I'm going to rip one more and we're going to wrap this up for tonight. I'm going to stare at the wall for a few minutes and have a peanut butter and jam sandwich after that. This has been a fun one tonight, guys. I've had such a riot. Interesting, right? It's honestly, the whole thing I think is about balance, right? I can have the plant very much throughout the day and the evening, but I take it in a way that it's in balance with my energy system, with I get the most out of myself. Of course, if I need to drive, I'm changing that routine. I think these things through and I build my schedule around, all right, well, I'm going to do all my driving first thing in the day, so that's out of the way and then I can carry on, right? Stuff like that. But again, for me, it's small doses frequently, and it keeps me balanced. So, all right. Oh boy, gonna have another one of these. All right, here we go. All right, my friends. Cheers. No water in the bong, just for a different experience. It just makes it hit differently. So, mix it up sometimes. It's pretty fun. All right, my friends. Thanks for hanging out tonight. Thanks for a really, really fun chat session. Had a great time tonight. So hopefully you guys can catch tomorrow, 3 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. If not, we'll catch you next week, hopefully. And thanks again, everybody, for being here. So much fun tonight. All right, until next time, take care.